Hey gang, Allison from AllisonCrow.com, and just came outside after a couple calls with my dogs. The weather here in Austin, Texas is perfect, and not that you care about that. One of the things I want to talk with you about today is something I have noticed or has come up in conversation, and it's the idea that women... I'm going to make a very broad sweeping statement. So please know that this does not mean it's true for everybody, but frankly, screw being safe. The reality is that many, many women don't invest in themselves. There are many that do, but many don't invest in themselves, are not comfortable with it. And oftentimes men are more willing to invest in themselves. And I'm talking about the distinction between spending money on ourselves and investing in ourselves. So we can spend money, which means we pour out money, and in return we get something back. But an investment means we invest our money into something with the expectation of getting more than we put in back. And sometimes there's not necessarily a physical component, right? So I can pay to buy a new dress, or I can invest in myself, in experiences, in learning, those kind of things. So I noticed just this idea in coming up in coaching client conversations. Obviously, the people I work with have and are willing to invest a lot of money in themselves and in their experiences, and many of my clients continue to do so year after year or in various programs, whether it's with me or with another coach. And a lot of times I come up with people who, and frankly, I don't care if the price is $99 or $9,000, but who aren't willing to, willing's not the word, it's like they want to, but something in them stops them from investing. And this is a little bit of a foreign concept for me because I'm a risk taker. I lean into the edge, and sometimes at the detriment of other people around me. It makes my husband a nervous wreck, and he asked to not know the amount of money I spend on coaching. So we keep that under business records. But every time I lean into my edge, it's never comfortable for me to hire or make these investments. It scares the hell out of me, and a lot of times I have a panic attack for 2 or 3 days after. And this last time I made the decision to not only reinvest with Rich Lippin, but I also made the decision to invest with a spiritual and shamanic mentor. And it's a lot more than I've really ever invested before. But when I decided to do it, I had a knowing. And then I had a freak out for a few days, and then I had a little bit of panic of, oh, how am I going to get that money together? And then I got centered, and I got focused, and I got into the energy of my knowing, and I created the money really quickly, as a matter of fact. But it's interesting to me, the process that people go through, and I lean into my edge, I pull the trigger, I freak out, and then I feel good. And some people are so waiting for the feel good to make the decision. And I don't know, I'm just curious what your thoughts are. The other way this randomly showed up, or maybe it didn't randomly showed up, was the evidence that I saw, and this is just a hypothesis, but on the travel that I did recently, on 3 out of 6 plane flights that I had recently, not 3 out of 6, 5 out of the 6, I was thinking how many legs. So 5 out of the 6 legs of this flight, first class was full of men. Maybe one woman, but all men. And then finally on the very last flight, it was about half and half. And I was curious about why were there very few women in first class. And I know women travel for business, and so there's those automatic upgrades or people that fly that much. But what about the people who are willing to pay for it? I'm just curious. It was a random little thing. So I'd love to hear what your thoughts are, especially if you are confident investing in yourself, what that looks like, or if it just scares the bejesus out of you. There are people in my life who look at me and cannot believe that I invest in coaching. And that's okay. It's totally okay. I'm just curious about it and wonder what you think. All right, peace out.